expansive nutrition is because, all right, we all know we need certain levels of health through food, through the conventional methods of nutrition. And just for the record, I've done 2 or 3 conventional nutritional courses, and in my opinion, they're a crock of crap. And they're kind of perpetuating this state of us being, you know, in a state of dependency on all the other corporations and institutions that treat our health, yeah? But at the same time, they're contributing to our ill health and demise, yeah? And, you know, we'll qualify that as you go along. So the reason I call it expansive nutrition is because aside from the typical food and diet, there's so many other levels of nutrition that we need to be catering to as a being, as a body. And a lot of this realization is kind of buried under a lot of all the other crap that we're kind of piling ourselves under without knowing, out of our naivety, ignorance, and just general distraction mainly. Yeah, and the kind of time frame, the kind of time period that we're entering, or that we've entered now, it's a time of awakening, as they say, just to use a cliche term. And a lot of people are waking up.
Creating this whole cosmos, as far as we can stretch this human imagination, you are part of that creation. Like, you are that creation, you are everything. Do you get what I'm saying? If you're not here, none of this exists. Yeah? Like, you are the sun, that soul energy of your entire universe. Everything in your world is orbiting around you. And you know that. That's why it's all like relevant and it's all to you. Because, like me sitting here right now, you're here for you. I'm trying to feed you. If you're not here, none of this is happening. Do you get what I'm saying? This is the same reflection as what the sun is doing in the solar system. The sun's there and all the planets are orbiting around the sun, because that's the main source of nutrient on this plane, light. Yeah? So when you understand this, or understand this knowledge, because language is deep as well. Language is such a programming tool that if we don't start to get our heads around it and understand what we're partaking in, we become like, you're a slave to it basically. You're only ruled by systems that you don't understand, or overstand, or understand. It's like that.
So with magnetism, it will either kind of repel or it will attract. Sometimes we're around people we don't even know too much, but you know, there's something about them, we gravitate towards them. So it's like we kind of enjoy being around them, we know we enjoy their kind of space. Do you know what I mean? And again, this is about their soul bodies that we're attracted to. They depend on our dependency on them. So it's like, you know, if we go into who's controlling the world, them, whoever they are to you. Some people it's Illuminati, some people it's Rockefeller or Bilderberg, some people it's Anunnaki, you don't matter the level, whoever they are to you, we can all agree that they're controlling things in this realm. Yeah, and one of the main awarenesses is that they fund both sides of the war. Yeah, and that's important to know, because that's a big part of the trap. Yeah? And what they do with us is they keep us in division and also at 2 different poles, judging whether it's good or bad, whether you vote in Labour or Conservative. And this operates concurrently throughout the systems. And this is for a very important reason, because when we're split between 2 poles, yeah, we create an energy field with this. So they don't care who you vote for. They just need to make sure that you're voting, that you're either saying, nah, it's not Labour, their policies are this and they never said the truth. So then they'll hype up Conservatives to try and get people to sweat. As long as you're bouncing between the poles, because this is how energy works in this realm. You've got 2 poles like in your body, you've got electromagnetism, and it takes a friction. Yeah, it don't matter if you're talking about a machine, a car, whatever. It takes friction and combustion to generate energy. Yeah, so it don't matter which side of the pole you're on, it's all energy. So as long as you're going against it, as long as we're in division, we're split at 2 different ends, they can keep this system going, because then we feed this energy field. And you're never going to get, it don't matter who you vote for, it's the same story. And like I say, they fund both sides of the war. So it don't matter which Prime Minister gets in, you know that he's not calling the shots. I think we all know this now. What we need to do to qualify these things that we're going to talk about is we need a kind of a formula or a system by which we can qualify truth. And this is where like education comes in, because the education system, right, it's actually a schooling system, because education primarily is based on truth. And really nobody can give you an education. Education is taken by the man or the woman. Yeah, only a man can self-educate himself. People can guide and show you and mentor you. Yeah, but if education is based in truth, that truth has to be based on knowledge. Yeah, and knowledge can only be knowledge if it's experienced. Yeah, otherwise there's no knowing. And like I always say, it's like you can have people who've got 1,000 books behind them. You can read 1,000 books. The system will tell you, oh, you're a very knowledgeable person. Yeah, but until information, what you get out of the books is applied, you don't actually know anything. Yeah? You can only believe what you're reading. And the way this educational schooling system is set up, and I know because I've been through it, it's like it's set up in a system as you read, retain, and recite. Yeah, that's programming. You read, retain, and recite. And anytime you want to put your own thought, own opinion on a paper, that will be discredited if you don't show how you got that from somewhere else, from another author. You must reference, yeah, from another author. This is to make sure that you are not developing your own mind or your own opinions. Yes, like I say, we need to redefine how we approach education. And if we can't qualify truth ourselves as human beings, then we're never growing and we're never evolving. Because I can promise you this, we're born knowing all, we know everything, because we've been doing this life. Like, there's no death in life. You know, we're operating on cycles, and we'll qualify all of this. Yeah, so when you come back through, you got your genetical impressions from your mother and your father, who's got theirs from their forefathers and ancestors and so on. All this information that you need to know to get through life is written into your genetics. It's in your genes. Yeah, we just forgot how to access it. Is the more light you can channel in your body, like the word light is synonymous with information and wisdom. Yeah, and information. That's for good reason, because that sun up there that controls this whole system around that in the solar system, yeah, is pure light. So the sun rays, that's where information and knowledge travels through. Hence, if you've looked up in the sky in the daytime over the past 5-6 years, you will see them trying to create fields and webs in the form of what we call chemtrails to deflect and reflect this light. Yeah, the sun. Everything is governed by the sun. Light is the highest form of nutrient, as in the human body. Yeah, I used to think it was food. I used to think like, you know, nutrients and food. As long as you're getting top food, but then I discovered, wow, there's higher nutrients. Yeah, and it's a hierarchy of nutrients, and nature shows you everything. So as long as you're paying attention, and this is another key point, another key tool, learning and tuning how we can pay attention in our reality. Yeah? The more we pay attention to nature and learn how to read, learn this language of nature, language of God, language of Jesus to some people. Yeah, don't matter what you call the force, it don't discriminate, it's there. So as long as we learn how to redirect our attention, yeah, to nature, and also your everyday reality, what is going on around you, the people that are around you, the family that's around you, the car that you're driving, it exists in everything, because if it's here, it can't escape the law. Yeah, the only thing is, it can be hidden from us. And like someone said earlier, you know, we was talking about something, he said everything's really just in plain sight, and it is, because you can't escape. But what happens is to shut that eye down, what they call the third eye, or the first.
Everything to do with it, because I can honestly say through consciousness that God does not put any race here to burn. If a mango don't burn on the tree, if a strawberry don't burn in the ground from the sun, if leaves don't burn, then human beings are the highest sentient. They ain't here to burn. They will only burn and get all these cancers and take themselves out if they're operating outside of balance, outside of harmony and law. And that is the same law that applies to a black person or a white person. So when we talk about the dark forces and the dark this and the black this and the black Monday and the black yeah, that is to reprogram us. Do you get what I'm saying? So when we're living back, this is real evil. Yeah, because even in the language you spell evil, yeah, that is just live backwards. There's no devil controlling us. When you're living backwards outside of the law and outside of the understanding, this is an evil way to live. Don't mean it's negative, just means you're on a certain path and you're going to have certain experiences which we can call evil or put a deal in. This is the evil way of living. The devil, the evil. So we qualify it by the language, and as we go through, we'll continuously, consistently keep making these connections and interconnections to everything. Through the language, through astrology, through history, through the present moment, through your reality, through the medical system. Because if you can't connect it to everything, then it's my thesis that this isn't truth. If you're dealing with truth, no matter what topic you're talking about, you must be able to show how this connects to everything, that it operates within the laws. Root of the tree of the branches of religion, the Abrahamic religions. So you got the Jews with the Torah and the Old Testament, the Hebrew stuff, and then you got the New Testament, which is Christianity, and then you got the Islam, which is, they all honour Abraham as the father, but they're just three different religions of the same bloody thing. Do you get what I'm saying? They're all controlling and dominating. I ain't trying to step on no toes of no religious people, but there's levels into the religion, and it all subscribes to the law, and it's all telling you the story. The only difference is they've made it so divisive and deceptive that people can't see the truth in it, and they can't see that this whole story is about you, and about them, and about your reality and how you can grow, and they've got you handing over power to something outside of yourself. Just like they've got you handing over power to the doctor, or the teacher, everything is here to distract you, and then they want to program you from the inside again with the genetically modified foods. Because again, this is where food comes into it again. So how does this qualify with food? Well, food, light feeds the food, feeds the trees. That's why in the more light dense areas of the world, you got much richer foods, because they get more light. Yeah? So they're much richer, much healthier, much more nutritional, yeah, than what we say grows in Europe, in a lot of places in Europe. In fact, they're getting more light. Yeah? So now these foods grow richer. What happens is everything's a communication. Yeah? So the sun communicates through the trees. Yeah? Photosynthesis, they absorb it. They convert the light into energy to convert that into a form that we can ingest the light for our physical body. Because we need food. Remember, we've got enough bodies we operate on, and we can feed it. The breath feeds a spiritual body. Yeah, it's a lot lighter force. Yeah, water feeds a chemical body. Food feeds the physical body. So, you know, if you want to tone up and all of that, you have to go to the food for that. Yeah, it contains that, because it's your attention that you're paying. That is the exchange rate, your attention. That's why everything in your reality is fighting for your attention. Look at me, look at me, look at me. The news, the media, the teachers, it's all designed to keep your attention outside of yourself. Yeah? So you don't start making intentions. So if you turn it in and start making intentions and realizing your power, you start watching your intentions manifest. Especially if you've got the tools to strengthen your intentions. But to do that, you can't do that while if the screen is in front of you, because that's got your attention, it's pulling you out, and it's programming you. It's an exchange. So you're giving it that, and it's giving it you. Now you can say to yourself that, oh well, you know, I'm strong and I got my filters on and I ain't taking it in. Well, just go to the science and they tell you, man, like 90% of what's going on in you is operating from your subconscious. You're not even aware of it. And they know the laws, they know the sciences, that's why they're applying them. They know they can just feed your subconscious. So they know even when you start thinking differently, that's coming from a perception that you're not aware of. Your thoughts are not your own most of the time, unfortunately. Yeah? It's like you're going back to the sea, to the source of what has been built up, in order to, remember, they fund both sides of the war. It's like the Lloyds group, the Lloyds banking group. I always say, when you go around your community, you see all these Lloyds pharmacies throwing up, same green thing, same, it's like, hold on a minute, if you're paying attention. Hold on a minute. So the Lloyds Bank, I remember when I used to ring Halifax, and I call them like, yeah, the Lloyds Group, what that? Nah, my account's with Halifax. Oh yeah, we're part of the Lloyds Group. So it's like, hold on. Lloyds are owning all these banks, yeah? So really, there's no competition. They fund both sides of the war. They just keep us in the vision, thinking, oh, what's the best bank to go to? Operate at every level. Oh, I'm going to go to you because I offer you a better deal. As long as they're controlling all of them, they've got you. They just give us the illusion, the same as democracy or politics or parties, that you've got choices, same as a university. Or we're a free country, so you can go and choose what you want to do. Yeah, right, you try it. You go and try and say, I want to go and learn metaphysics at Birmingham University. Or, you know, genetical metaphysics. We don't have that here. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to pick out of their boxes. Here's a prospectus. You hear what I'm saying? You can do philosophy, theology, English, languages, beauty therapy. It's not free. To say that we're a free country and we can choose our own president, we've got democracy, you have to choose out of their boxes. If I say I want Kenneth to be president because I admire his stature and his honour and his principle, yeah, right, he's got to get a party and he's got to jump for $1 million. Basically, it ain't going to happen in his lifetime. Do you get what I'm saying? Here's a prospectus. You got Labour, Monster Party, you've got Conservatives. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not a free country. It's not free like that. And why did it kill pain? Because pain is one of your biggest defense mechanisms. It's a natural defense mechanism. So when you're feeling pain, that's a communication. It's like if you go lean on a hot fire, yeah, and you don't know that this is killing your cells, if you don't feel pain, you will let your whole arm burn. And then you're out of balance in your body proportion. So you feel that pain, say, oh shit. Do you get what I'm saying? That hurt, I ain't gonna do that again. Defense mechanism. When you're sick and you got a headache and it's pounding, if you knew yourself and you knew law, you knew what you're made of, and you knew how you operate, you said, of course that makes sense because I ain't drunk water this week and I've been drinking a lot of bloody acidic foods. Everything circulates, everything operates in cycles, yeah? So it's feeding all, and your brain depends on, 2 parts oxygen to every other cell. Do you get what I'm saying? So the brain's keeping you fueling. So if you don't know these things and they're blocking that thing, A, they're stopping the communication, and B, they're poisoning your system and making it weaker because they've just added a different chemical to the alchemical equation, which is not in line with nature, which is not in line with law. So now you're getting sicker and sicker without even realising it because they control the language in the industry. So it's like they can call sugar, they will refer to sugar as what you get in fruits and also what they produce in a bag, yeah, which is an alchemical drug. Yeah, but then they'll say, oh, you need sugar in moderation, you need sugar. And now you've got diabetics who will say, oh, can't eat fruit because too much sugar. That's the only thing that can really heal you. But no, doctors, it's high in sugar and it's going to be, okay, really. But also, oh, I can have these muffins because everything in moderation, we need sugar. Do you get what I'm saying? They're from both sides of the war at every level. And they're controlling our thought patterns and processes. So if you're not aware of this, we're not aware that we're in a war. If you don't know that you're in prison, then you're a slave, you're never going to try and get free. And that's the thing. That's another a principle that they operate on. It's like, let the slaves believe that they're free. Then they won't fight you. Do you get what I'm saying? They won't try and uprise and get out of their situation. And you can continuously just jab them, just spoon feed them, dumb them down at every level, attack their frequency from above, from below, and everywhere in between. And then they've got you right where they want you. So when they need to throw in the big guns, you're powerless and you're disempowered. Do you get what I'm saying? And we're in a state of utter disunity and disconnection. And their philosophy, especially here in England, is divide and conquer. They divide you from the inside, from your bodies, yeah, from your genetical, natural immune systems. They disconnect you from all of that, and then they disconnect you to your neighbour through media. They disconnect you at every single level. They've got you at war. They disconnect you with your political choices. They disconnect you with your uni choice. That's what I'm saying. Education system. Now, when I studied, and it don't matter which ancient system I go back to, but they was never teaching separate, segregated subjects. That does not make sense in nature, because everything is everything. So you might be a bad boy mathematician, but maths is going to be directly related to geometry, going to be directly related to physics, going to be directly related to how a plant grows. That's real mathematics, real balance, mathematics. Do you get what I'm saying? So even their deities, even their gods, that they represent all of these forces that run concurrently through nature. That's why now we get stuck with the Jesuses. We're just walking around with 12 zodiacs, but in the guise of disciples, or who are actually disciplined, who are just characters telling you to turn the other cheek and look the other way. Because these are magicians. Do you know what I mean? I'm not stepping on no religious toes, but there's real truths that we have to and we have to understand that these are what have programmed us from the very age we was conscious, and this is how serious they are, because you can do atrocities in this, and they will let us get away with a hell of a lot. But if you say, I ain't putting my son in that programming system from 4 years old, they will lock you up. And that's your child. If you feel like you want to protect him differently, and say, no, I don't want vaccinations for my child, they're going to bombard you with threats and scaremonger. But this could happen and that could happen and we don't want him in the school. If you say I don't want him in the school, I want to keep him out of homeschooling. If you ain't still subscribing to their curriculum of segregation instead of full holistic education, they'll lock up the parent. That's how serious they are. Because if one slave wants to get free, he might start signaling the other slaves just with his wavelength alone. Because remember, we know everything. So when your truth isn't something that you can qualify by hearing, or even qualify by seeing, because you can be deceived through verbal or through visual, but real truth you feel because it resonates. So when it's something that you're hearing, maybe for the first time, or it could be how many times later, but you will feel this truth because it resonates with a frequency that already exists in your gene code. And now